welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. We're going to talk about going gold. Who here is ready to go gold? You're ready to go gold. I want you to drop a 1 in the comments if you are ready to go gold. If you feel like you've drawn that line in the sand and you're like, I want to go gold, drop a 2 in the comments for all the golds that we have on here, because I want to do a fun little shout out for our current golds. So if you're gold, I want you to unmute and say, I'm a goldie. Okay, ready? On the count of 3, unmute yourself and say, I'm a goldie. It's a big deal. And okay, 1, 2, 3.
I'm a goldie.
I mean, come on. Yes, I love it so much. Congratulations on being gold. It is not easy to do, and we're thrilled and excited to get to share with you tonight some learn along the way. So when I talked last week, we're doing kind of a fun little series on basically where I get to make some slideshows that I'm not technically savvy, and I've had some major help doing these. What I did is I went out and I outsourced. I said, who in Plexus, one Plexus, could I go wisdom? Just some more wisdom. And then taking some of my own stories and figuring out what would I have wanted to know in that season of my business. And so I want to encourage you tonight that you can go gold. I want to encourage you tonight that you can develop golds. Okay. So I'm really excited to share this with you. So let's get started. Grab your notebooks, grab your stuff, get ready to go, because we're going to hit it. We're going to hit it fast. Okay. Gold speed matters. And this is hilarious because I noticed, obviously, it kind of Englishly doesn't make any sense. Gold speed matter. What does that mean? But I didn't have her change it because that's exactly what I want to say, is speed matters when you're going gold. So before we even get into all the nitty gritty, I want you to ask yourself, how much am I willing to work? Because this isn't going to just happen for us. We really need to step it up a level and really up level from going senior silver to going gold. This is where we need to know, I've drawn my line in the sand. So if you've drawn your line in the sand and you're ready to move forward, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear, yes, I am. So put a 3 in the comments if you are ready to do this. Okay. First, going gold. It's going silver. It's signing up your first person. It's getting those 3 VIP customers that you directly sponsor underneath you. So for some of you in here, I'd love for you to put down who your first 3 people were. Mine was my husband, who I forced, and my best friend, Latoya, who just went Emerald last month, and my other best friend, Lisa, who is also an Emerald now. Those are my first 3 people. Who were your first 3 people? And when you're sharing with people about going silver, I love giving them that verbiage. I would love for you, when you refer 3 people that are $400, my 3 people was my X, Y, and Z, my aunt, my best friend, and my husband, whatever that looks like. But giving them those ideas is planting seeds so they don't feel like they're just sort of aimlessly wandering around trying to find 3 people. It makes us feel so much better and have clarity on what I need to be looking for. So to go silver, you get those 3 people that are directly sponsored underneath you, and that is 100 PV of products or a welcome pack, okay? That is going to get you to silver. Everyone cool? We're good with this? We're going to move on. Now what do I need to do? Well, this is the next thing. And I will be very vulnerable in telling you that this is not my wheelhouse of training. And so that's why I like slideshows. I want you guys to also know this is very duplicatable. You can see that what I'm doing is basically saying you go silver first. So if you're coaching somebody who's brand new, bite-sized pieces, because when we start throwing things around like words like points and you need PV and you need all these things and everything else, it gets confusing. And so doing exactly how I'm showing you is absolutely okay. You don't need to pitch diamonds to them on their very first order. So really, we're talking about senior silver. And senior silver is quickly becoming one of my very favorite ranks because it's getting money in people's hands. And I feel like it is absolutely blessing so many people. And right now, senior silver, they can make like $1,000 this month, I think, $800, something like that. But you can go senior silver, you need 50 points in your back office. So there's that dashboard there, and it tells you your PV, which is your personal products that you're using. And then there's another part of that dashboard that tells you your points, your organization points. You need 50 points. You will need 9 levels, 6 points a person, or 10 total on your levels 1 through 3. So I like to tell people that it's basically 10 people to go senior silver, or 9 people if you're going to personally sign them up. But here's what I love to do. This is just me personally. I love to encourage people at silver to start to get silver right away. So you don't stop when your level 1 goes silver. You say, hey, I want you to now do with them what I just did with you. Help them go silver. Okay, so going senior silver, and really trying to start that duplication process right away. Next slide. I can just slide it, just goes right over. Pay points, woo! Okay, 5 points on your levels 1 through 3, except for your level 1s are 6 points, and they are at 100 PV or more. Okay, and there's a lot more to this, but this is how I want you guys to just focus on it for right now, is keeping it simple. So when you've got a new person who's joining, chances are that they're going to, order, and then they're going to go silver. And so you want them to just kind of keep on trucking along and keeping with the idea that they're going to get that 6 points on their level 1s and 5 points on their 2s and 3s. And then we can, the longer that they're on and sharing with Plexus in bite-sized pieces. Unless they're asking for it, then of course we can give them more information. So gold is 100 points, and that is where we want to be. So when we want to go for gold, so when I was trying to go for gold when I first signed up, I watched a video, okay, I was a huge YouTuber. I actually just made a social media post on failure tolerance. What does your failure tolerance look like? If after the first time you're trying and it doesn't work, do you just quit? Or do you keep on going and knowing that it's worth doing the hard things to get the end result? So I also said in there, I said yes to making a wedding cake that I had never made before. I've never made a wedding cake before, but I said yes to it because I knew I had something in my back pocket. It's called YouTube. I had YouTube, and I knew I had friends that knew how to do it. And so I was willing to ask for help. So I want you to, when you're thinking about going gold, the reason I love to train this way is I want you to know how I did it, because I didn't just know all the things to do. I didn't know the verbiage to use. I wasn't sure what I was doing, but I was willing to learn. So if you're willing to learn, drop a 4 in the comments and let me know, hey, yes, I'm there. I'm hungry and thirsty for knowledge on how to do these things, but I'm not sure where to go. I want to encourage you to go to YouTube. I want to encourage you to go into your back office under resources and really start just kind of soaking it in while you're in this new stage. Back to the point is you want about 20 people, again, give or take a few depending on your level 1s, 20 people on your levels 1 through 3. Okay, so that is what you want for gold. Tips on going gold. This is what I was waiting to get to. Here we go. So intensity is important. Okay, and by that I mean that with that kind of that drive that you have is going to be important. That passion that you show up with is important to going gold. Why? Because attrition can happen. So you can choose, you are going to say, I'm okay if it takes 5 months to go gold, then you need to be okay that it may take you 5 months to go gold. But if you want to go gold this month, then speed matters, because what happens is if you span it out over a long period of time, you're going to have people that join and then they're like, well, I'm not wanting to take the products because maybe they weren't coached properly, or maybe because they just weren't ready to commit to that product. And so what happens is you're fighting that attrition, and you can end up kind of on that hamster wheel. I want you to think about plugging that hole there with basically doing it with intensity and doing it with a little bit of speed. So that means setting that goal and thinking about those people, writing out a list of folks that you have been thinking about. I love memory jogger forms. They're on Google. You can just put memory jogger in. It'll pop up. It'll populate up some forms that will jog your memory of people that you know, to really start thinking about who could I for the products, maybe for the business, but that speed really matters. One thing that I did not add on here is to grab a running partner. Like I mentioned, out of my first three, actually all three of those accounts are Emerald, which is kind of funny. But when I started, I was looking for business away. And not because really even for the business, but because I didn't want to do it alone. So if you're not wanting to do it alone and you want to increase the speed of your business, find somebody to build the business with. And I know your question is going to be, what if I can't find one? If you can't find one, then it's important for you to be that person. And we're going to cover that in just a little bit. But I want you to be really thinking about starting now, asking yourself, who could that person be? Who could run alongside me and work this business so we can do it together and do it together quickly, because speed matters. I love Rhonda Shaw. I watched one of her videos. She's Bridget Ryan's upline. I think I was probably Senior Ruby, and I watched it, and it was the first time I had heard her say it. She said, "This business loves speed." And then I saw it everywhere I went. I'm like, yes, it does. It's so true. It loves that momentum and that passion. Who are these people that we're looking for? They're friends who are busy. They're people who, because a lot of times I'll hear people say, well, she's too busy for this business, or they make too much money already. That's something I hear, or they can't afford it. We start canceling people out before we even talk to them. So one thing that I shared at Leaders Retreat was that Jennifer Leith had started messaging me for 18 months. She would say, I see you working so hard on the farm. I see you selling coffee. I see you selling cheese classes. I just want you to know that there's a different opportunity out there also, in addition to what you're doing, that could really bring you guys in a blessing of an income. And as those seeds were planted, I was ready to go. I want you to be thinking about people who serve in your community. So your doctors, your pastors' wives, people who serve in the community. I love connecting with those folks because I feel like it's a way to be blessed without having ever had that as the primary reason. Okay. So they're already kind of networked in and they're carrying some influence. And on a side note, that is how you will increase your influence, is through serving, through providing influence on your social media, by bringing that new mama a meeting and serving from your heart. So looking for a running buddy is so important, and it will help to move you forward. You don't need it, but it sure is nice to have that person to do it with. If you can't find this person, do not fret. It's going to be okay. Be a rock star. Maintain focus on your own personal IPA. And IPA is income producing activity. So when you think about income producing activity, I want you to think about your posting on social media. I want you to think about the messaging of just connecting, just, chatting with them and serving people in your community. But basically, things are going to move your needle forward. And I would love for you to get a game plan with your upline. If you're like, yes, I'm ready to commit to doing an IPA every single day. And when I was on coaching calls this morning with some folks from my team, I wrote down, I have a list here of all the things that they're going to do every single day for income producing activity at the level that they're at, and that matches their goal for where they want to be. Because at gold, typically to get to gold and a little bit beyond, we're going to be doing a lot of the heavy lifting. It's where a lot of the time our paycheck doesn't match our time input, but that's because we're really starting to roll that ball up the hill. We're trying to get that ball moving and getting into momentum. And so really kind of focusing on pushing and being willing to do the heavy lifting, being your own rock star. So what does IPA look like, okay, for going gold? And this is just stuff that I personally use and have found success on with my level 1 golds and above, and really seen that it works consistently. People will tell me that they don't need social media. I said I didn't need social media. I was like, I'm never posting, so you might as well just never ask me, Jennifer, because I'm never doing it. I don't want to be that girl. But now we have such beautiful ways to post that are just so, it's called attraction marketing, and I want you to think about being absolutely authentic to you. So I want to spend a little bit of time on posting because I don't want you to just start throwing stuff up there and saying I did my IPA. Okay, that's not the point of it. The point is, what are you providing? What are you sharing? Is it something that's inspirational? Is it helpful? Is it a recipe for busy moms that they might be able to tap into your page and really see what is affecting, what could change their life or impact them? Mom hacks. I know Megan Milakovic does things on travel every once in a while where she's like traveling with little kids and how that, all the tips that she has for that. So really getting clear on a couple of things that you really enjoy about your life that you would like to share and post. You do not need to share everything about your life, and you surely do not need to post every single day about plexus, but it needs to be in there, and you need to be talking about different types of things. So Emily Burgess did this post, oh my goodness, probably 2 years ago. And it's still one of the first things I think of when I think about good plexus posting. It was a picture of her with her pink drink like this. And she said, it was just a peace sign. It said, peace out naps since circa. And then she put an at, I think she said like 2016, naps since 2016 when she started plexus. Absolutely love that. She did not say, hey guys, I'm selling plexus and I'm a plexus. She just basically was like, yeah, I don't take naps anymore. Like, and holding her pink drink. So it gets people curious about what you're doing. Also a way to let people know that your business is open, that you're open for business. So when you think about a brick and mortar business, if they were just like never there, they were never advertising, they were never sharing, and they were never open, you'd be wondering, are they still sharing that? Do they still sell that? And I find it really hard to know if they're open because they're so sporadic. So I want you to be thinking about those things. Am I really letting my audience know that I've made a decision to partner and to really get healthy and to really get excited and to really create a movement of health and happiness? And I want to really encourage you guys, if you have thoughts coming up that you're scared of posting or that you're not sure about posting, I want to let you know that I did too. I was a horrible poster, horrible. And I had to learn. And so I just dedicated myself for a week to different videos. How do I post? How do I write content? How do I do those things? And I just started listening to them just a little bit every day to increase that skill set. The thing I love about this plexus culture is that we really encourage you to invest in you, to increase your skill set, to increase your skill set as a leader, that actually boosts your confidence as a mom, as a wife, as a parent, as a husband, all of those things. And so we really want to encourage that. So don't be afraid to learn a new skill set. Don't let your mind tell you that you can't, too old, or that you're too young, that I have no influence. Don't buy into those lies. Just commit to learning. Don't buy into the lies, just commit to learning. And if you're on our team, we have 30 days of posting ideas that are just kind of one-liner ideas to talk about what plexus does for you. I'll send that to whoever needs that, okay? And then I put down messaging. I said 2 people a day, but again, you want to scale this onto what your team, your Jewel teacher, your Jewel upline shares with you that fits your goal. But basically what I did personally was I reached out to 2 people a day, and I was just very I wanted to connect with them. I wanted to pour love on them. And I wanted to just reach out and let them know that there was a blessing here if they wanted this opportunity. So I had thought scripts in here, but I really feel strongly that it needs to come from you. I actually am a huge fan of voice messages, video messages, and picking up the phone and calling. I also am a huge fan of inviting people over for dinner. And so I'm in a new community, and that's what we've been doing. We've been inviting people to our home, engaging and just chatting with them and letting them know what we do, because people get curious. It's like, well, what do you do? So really thinking about those things and reaching out. One other thing I want to touch on really quick is the thought I'm only silver, and I'm only senior silver, or I'm only gold. I don't have this big, huge testimony to share. I have great news for you. I was only silver. I was only senior silver. I was only gold. Bree Coolidge was only silver and only senior silver and only gold. All the diamonds and plexus, we all started from the same place. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that awesome to know that that doesn't matter, that you can absolutely still share and really get excited about the opportunity and where you're headed, really looking forward to doing in the future. Okay. Set specific goals. I got this from Brittany Howard and I loved it. I've heard this many times in different places. I think Melissa Eigenhorst was the first time I heard BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. So the first thing is be specific on your goal. What does that look like for you? Is that gold? And I want you to share it in the comments below. What is your must-have goal for this month? What is your goal that you're like, I'm absolutely drawing my line in the sand. I will not come up short. I know I can do it. And then right underneath that goal, what is your big scary goal? So maybe you're thinking, I need 6 people to hit gold, but my big audacious goal would be to get to 150 points and sign up X amount of people. I want you to always have that bigger vision, because oftentimes what happens is when we get into momentum, and momentum comes when we have a must-have goal that is connected to why we're doing it, and we get into action, a lot of times we can actually end up hitting that crazy goal because we're so in momentum and excited and moving. Because why? And this business is going to really kind of work with you when you're moving fast. It creates some momentum. So make sure you have a big, crazy goal that you want to achieve. Okay, so I will do this, I won't miss it. Yes. A picture of you. More far-fetched, but still very possible. Being extremely intentional and bringing some intensity and passion to this part is just so critical to really getting this into momentum. Another really important part is do not compare your journey. Don't look to the right. Put your blinders on and get to work, because your journey is special and everybody has a story. So whether you're like Sarah Marble, who's a diamond in our company, who stayed silver for 7 months, or whether you're like Brittany Howard, who was silver, I think she said for 18 months, or whether you're somebody who went silver in 24 hours, doesn't matter, because your journey is going to be specific to you. And how beautiful that is, that you get to learn exactly what you need to lead your team best, to make the biggest impact on your team. This is going to be your journey. So do not to anybody else. And I put this picture of this woman rolling this boulder up the hill. One, because I wanted a cool picture. And this was a story that I've heard so many times, is that, like I mentioned earlier, is that you're going to be pushing this boulder up the hill. And sometimes it's going to feel like, oh my goodness, like what, when will this take momentum? Ever experienced momentum? And I want you to put in the comments like a 5. If you've ever experienced momentum, you know what I'm talking about, is you'll push it up, you'll push it up, you'll push it up. And if you don't give up and you keep going, that boulder is going to be like a snowball and start to snowball and catch all this big momentum and become this massive snow at the end that is going to be your business and be in huge momentum and really growing forward. So I asked Emerald Ambassador Latoya Lecky to share with us tonight a little bit about Gold School. I was unable to go. Excited to attend the next one. And she went and she had 5 girls from her team earn it. And I just wanted her to share from a leader perspective on why she thinks people should go. And then also from a new person's perspective, why they would want to earn the next Gold School.
That still sounds so weird. Emerald Ambassador Latoya. That still sounds weird. Anyway, Gold School was amazing. I said it several times through the weekend. I wish I had this when I hit gold. And so for those of you that have been in it a minute, you need to go to Gold School. And the way to do that is to get a gold on your level 1 yourself. And so help your people get there. And then those of you that are new, that are not to gold yet, you want to go to Gold School. There's 4 a year and you want to do this. Guys, what happens in that room during that day is, number 1, you are with people that are just like you in your journey, exact same place that you are, and you're with leaders that have helped to develop other golds as well. So, it was interesting, just the mixture of the group of people. There was young, there was old, there were all different types of people there from different industries, different, stay-at-home moms, other people that have full-time jobs in different industries. And the main thing that I saw happen was the light bulb got switched on to understand the opportunity that's ahead of you. This opportunity is unlike anything else. This business is unlike anything else. And you've heard the saying probably before, if you work it like a hobby, it pays like a hobby. If you work it like a business, it pays like a business. And so having that mindset shift of this isn't just something I do, but this is something I'm building is huge. That mindset gets you through the hard days, because in network marketing, we put out a lot of effort for a little bit of pay in the beginning. Then we put out about the same amount of effort for the same amount of pay. And then we have a lot of pay for what seems like little effort. And that first stage is where people give up. That's where they quit. And it's because they don't have that mindset shift. So I think Gold School for the girls on our team that went, even for me as a leader, was just to see the importance of that. And so what Alita has been talking about tonight are simple things that we do. We just need to do them consistently. We need to do them boldly, and we need to do them, loving and serving well with honor. But in addition to that, you need that mindset shift, because on nights where you've put the kids to bed and it's Monday night and, hey, I've got to jump on a team Zoom and all of these things happening, you're giving up time of other things to focus on this. And in that moment, you need to know that you are building a future. You are building a legacy. You are building a business. It's a turnkey business, guys, that you have been handed, that you get to work, that can make you 6 figures a year if you don't give up. The only way to fail is to quit. And so when you're setting your goals with your sponsor, when you're setting your goals with your friends, with your leaders, get with them and say, here's how fast I want to move. And then, like Alita said, that the amazing thing about this business is you get to move at the speed that you want to move. And growth does love speed. So if you're wanting to rank up, get behind that, get an energy with it, get momentum with it, and with your team, with your friends. And even if it's you by yourself right now, and you're like, well, I don't really have a team yet, or I haven't even sponsored anybody yet. You get excited yourself, and you wake up in the morning and you know, if I only have 15 minutes during my lunch break and 30 minutes after dinner and 10 minutes in the morning to watch YouTube and whatever that is, you fit it in your day at the rate that you're wanting to grow. When we began, we started doing YouTube videos in the morning. We were making phone calls at lunch. It was after dinner. And we quickly began to grow. And that's what happens, guys. You will find people to run with you if you stay consistent and if you put in the work. So just switching over to that entrepreneurial mindset of I'm building a business, I'm building a legacy. I think that is the biggest mindset shift that I saw happen for our team at Gold School. And leaders, you want to be there. You want to be there with your people. There's nothing like seeing their faces light up for the first time and them taking notes and them understanding what is at their fingertips. There's nothing like it. So you want to get to Gold School.
I love it. So who's going to the next Gold School? Drop a 6 in the comments if you're hitting it up. If you're like, this is me, I'm going to make it happen. This is my must have goal. So like LaToya said, and we're going to wrap up with this, but like, look at all here. I love it. If you want gold, if you want gold school, you either need to go gold for the very first time or have a level 1 underneath you go gold. Both are very, very possible and doable. And so I want you to be thinking about, what does that look like? Get a game plan and remember that this business loves speed. Don't give up on the hard days and keep on going. You have all the resources you need. I hope and pray that this was helpful for you tonight. We're not doing next Monday night because of Easter, but the following Monday night, I'm going to be training and talking on what attributes and characteristics and skill set you need to have to be diamond. So if you're ready to go all the way to the top, I want to talk to you. I want you there on Monday night. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for hopping on and giving of your time. I hope this is valuable to you. Let's go and develop some goals. Let's go gold ourselves. Love y'all. Have a good night.